each other and strategize about the future of the division, and who viewed their meetings not as boxes to be ticked because of contractual obligations, but as a chance to meet with their friends. And I was right, I was accurate in that sense that I got. Having been here for 3 years now, I've found that Division of Human Studies is indeed exactly like that. A group of people who like each other, who enjoy each other's company, and who are passionate and motivated about the direction of the division that we're in. In that respect, the other thing that I've learned is that in that respect, the division takes after the characteristics of its chair at the time, Professor Emrys Westacott. Emrys is perhaps the platonic ideal of a mentor and a colleague to look up to, in the sense that he knows exactly how everything is supposed to be done. He knows what all the rules are, but he's not necessarily heartbroken if you don't always follow them. And Emrys, you know, when I joined the division, I think I asked a lot of questions of all my colleagues, particularly Emrys, and Emrys was always unbegrudging and generous with his time. In that respect, Emrys's qualities as a colleague also reflect his qualities as a friend. He is a generous, unbegrudging, very kind friend as well. Many anecdotes I could tell you, but I'll just stick to one that demonstrates this. Last year, Emrys and I are both from an island where we are intensely passionate about soccer. And last year, or football, and last year, the English national team got to the finals of the European Championships, potentially the biggest moment in the history of English football for 60 years or so. And one thing you should know about Scottish soccer fans is that we are better. We are a better Scottish soccer fans, we like to say that we have two national teams. We support Scotland and whoever happens to be playing England. That's our two national teams. Emrys invited me to watch the biggest game in the last sort of half century of English soccer. And I said to him, Emrys, you know, I wouldn't begrudge you if you didn't want a better Scot, potentially trying to rain on your parade or laughing at your pain, depending on how this game goes. Emrys said not only did he want me there, but in fact the question to him seemed very strange. It's not strange to me. I have cut contact with friends for several weeks after a negative soccer result against their team. But to Emrys, it was much more a chance, as always, just to get together with people he cares about and share experiences. I think in that respect I've happened upon a national characteristic because very obligingly the English national team lost 2-1 in that final, so it was bloody decent of them to play their role as well. As I say, Emrys's talents as a colleague reflect his talents as a friend. And we're going to hear from a number of people who, like me, are very glad to say that although Emrys is retiring in his capacity as the former thing, he is not retiring in his capacity as the latter. So I'm going to call on Professor Mallory Szymanski, who is going to read a message to Emrys from his former colleague, John Gilmore.
Please join me in thanking Paul Butterfield for organizing this event and bringing us This is a big lift, Paul. Thank you very much. And before I begin reading this beautiful letter from John Gilmore, I will say I'm not as nice or as grateful as Paul, because I have the fortunate or unfortunate responsibility of trying to fill Emrys's big shoes as chair. So I've been in denial about this moment for the whole time that I've known you, Emrys, and trying to convince you that retirement is not a real thing. And my job today is to tell you that when I first met Emrys, you know, we all know that he likes to kind of be gently ribbed and prodded. It's part of, you know, our fun in the division and in life. And so I want you all to know that our professor of cheap our author of The Wisdom of Frugality, has the premier distinction of costing the Division of Human Studies the single greatest line item in our budget for this year. You are all at the party. It is our most expensive party. So when you note that the wine is in a bottle and not a box, and the glasses are glass and not plastic, it is with great delight that I share that information with all of you. This letter comes from John Gilmore, who was a professor of philosophy here at Alfred, and he writes, "Dear Emrys, congratulations on your retirement. You've given your best to Alfred for more than a quarter century, and I know that you will be missed greatly. I find it hard to think about the division without you there, the last of the group that we had in our heyday. I well remember when we interviewed you to be my replacement in the philosophy program, because you promised new energy, balance, and creativity to the program. You have more than fulfilled that promise. For us, it was always crucial to find a new member who had outstanding promise as a teacher, scholar, and colleague. Your background was rich, and you had a broad repertoire of philosophical knowledge essential for a small program, and the attitude of putting the students first. We foresaw a generous and creative colleague, and you have fulfilled that promise in aces. I did not envision a colleague who would make a strong case for the ethical value of gossip, but you pulled that off beautifully. I have had the pleasure of working with you for only a few of the earlier years of your Alfred career, but I will always treasure those years. Besides not expecting a defense of gossip, I never foresaw you branching out to audit a seminar on Heidegger, as you did in my late career, but it did not surprise me, given your breadth of philosophical curiosity and your generosity of spirit. You contributed a lot to that experience. You exemplify the Socratic spirit that I value so much: inquisitive questioning, ironic humor, and the spirit of the gadfly. Most of all, I value your friendship and look forward to seeing you now and then in Maine. I had to write this instead of doing a short video tribute, because I value words more than images and sentences, more than sound bites. I'm sure the late years of your teaching career were made more difficult by the decline of student interest in language and the contemplation it requires. May you and Vicki have an abundant and joyful retirement life. Warmly, John." I now look for Martha Lash, who is going to